What's up YouTube? This is Train and Hawelko bringing to you guys Dota 2's gameplay update for 6.80. And so with
Hey
this...
guys.
Screw you! Okay, with this update, we're bringing to you guys two new game modes, which is going to be Random Ability Draft and Replay Takeover. And Random
So
Ability...
it's basically like a WTF mode?
It's an OMG mode.
Oh, I knew
Okay,
that.
yeah, but it's basically like an OMG mode. Pretty much, if you played Warcraft 3, it's kind of like OMG mode slash Legends of Dota mode, where you get to choose your hero's skills after choosing the hero, and it's just amazing. It's pretty fun to play. It's kind of like a mod to Dota 2, and that's that.
Yeah, if you guys see like the pictures on the update, you guys can see like Luna with like Punch Hook and Crystal Maiden doing the Ryan's ult.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick.
Those are just some of the combos you can do. Like you can do amazing things
Yeah.
like you can get like Pudge's hook plus Clockwork's ulti to get double hook, and it's just crazy shenanigans.
Or imagine Meepo with Spirit Breaker's charge.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
That's scary.
And for Replay Takeover, we have a new game mode where you can actually choose when to go into a replay, and you can actually play the replay from that point in the perspective of whatever team you chose. And so you could basically like relive old moments, or like even pretend you're in the internationals or something once it's out. And that's that
So
for
it
the
could
game
be
modes.
like replacing Dandy or something.
As
And
if.
you'd fail.
As if. As if.
We'd fail. Hardcore.
And in 6.80, there's gonna be two new heroes, guys. Woo! New heroes!
Yay! And they are Phoenix and Terrorblade.
Yeah.
Terrorblade, he's like...
Illidan!
In Warcraft 3 he was...
Freaking Illidan.
There
Yeah.
we go.
So awesome. He's a demon hunter.
He was basically like banished from hell.
Yeah, screw that lore. But anyway, basically he's a demon. He's like an anti-mage, except he can become a demon, metamorphosis. And his ulti, you pretty much swap your HP with your opponent's HP, so you could troll a lol with a Dagon or something. And for Phoenix...
So you have like... Oh, okay, whatever, fine, be that way.
Yeah,
so if
go.
you have super low HP and you see someone like Pudge, you swap,
Slip. You
you
slip.
swap with
You
Thunder.
slip them, bro. Slip.
And then you have full HP. But I think it's based on percentage, right?
It is based on percentage, but if you have 1% HP, it's not gonna really matter, because they're gonna have 1% HP too, so... Yeah. Go, explain Phoenix.
Phoenix is a phoenix, basically. And
Yeah.
His ult makes him into a giant supernova that explodes, which takes time.
His ult makes him into a giant circle. It's not a supernova. It's just a circle. He becomes this orange circle.
It's a huge circle thing that will explode.
It's an egg, bro. Phoenixes become eggs.
You know what? It's a giant circle thing that explodes.
Yeah, there we go.
Supernova.
No. Henceforth, black hole. Enigma.
What the? Dude,
okay. Anyway, finally going on to the gameplay update. Hawelko will go first, explaining the new all-pick system. Just kidding, I'm gonna go first. Okay, so pretty much, guys, new all-pick system. If you haven't chosen a hero after the all-pick selection timer is up, you will start to lose 1 gold per second. But in preparation for this, they have actually extended the all-pick selection time by 15 seconds and reduced pre-creep time by 15 seconds. So the gameplay actually hasn't changed, but you will get punished for not choosing your hero as soon as possible. Do you want to do the Roshan thing?
Yeah, sure. Apparently Rosh kept upgrading his HP / damage / armor at 45 minutes, which is... I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
Yes, it gets scaled so that as your hero gets stronger, Roshan gets stronger.
No. Well, they changed that so it stops from it getting buffer. And they rescaled its bounty, so it's went from 105 to 600 to 150 to 400.
Yeah, it's kind of like a downgrade, especially if you get like 600 compared to now 400.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I guess it doesn't really change the metagame too much because the old one was very variably. Like you could get 100 or you could get 600. So that's just troll.
But I still don't like the fact that Roshan spawns at a random time.
Yeah, that's annoying. It just makes it harder, but it makes it so that it's much more more competitive in fighting for Roshan, like because your team doesn't even know when Roshan will be up. So it'll help the team, the underdog team. You know?
Yeah, that
something
makes sense.
like that. Okay, so shall I explain?
Now on to heroes.
Okay, there we go. You want to go first? Yeah, you can go first.
No, it doesn't matter. Okay, so first hero, Alchemist. It's gonna go in alphabetical order. His night vision reduced from 1400 to 800, which is pretty big, which is huge. And his stun shaking duration reduced from 7 to 5.5. And it no longer gets stronger while it's in the air.
So basically this means that he can charge up fully much faster and have the maximum stun available at 5.5 seconds instead of 7. So that pretty much gives Alchemist a pretty big boost. It's a pretty considerable buff. And so on to Ancient Apparition, we have Ice Vortex spell damage amplification increasing by around 5 per every level. And we have the duration increasing 4 seconds, with the aura stickiness increasing from 0.1 to 0.5. So that aura actually sticks to you for a much longer time now, which makes it much more effective and probably useful in like competitive, more so than it was before.
Yeah. Let's see if he goes into the meta.
Nah, he never will. They haven't changed his ulti or anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But his ulti is pretty cool.
His ulti is cool. And he got like a buff with Agnims, but not many teams have actually used Ancient Apparition with Agnims. It's kind of hard to farm it. That's the only thing.
Yeah, true. On to Anti-Mage. His Mana Void radius increased from 300 to 450, which is significantly, not too significantly big.
It's pretty big
and though. His AoE, his Mana Void became AoE target cursor instead of whatever it was before.
So you can actually see who you're gonna hit with Mana Void now, which is so nice. Yeah. So nice. And for Axe, we have base HP increase, so that's a buff. We have Berserker Call increase in duration, which is a buff. And the cooldown scale, it scales like, it used to be just 10 seconds for all levels, but now it's 16, 14, 12, 10. Which is a kind of like a negative thing, but all in all, Axe pretty much got a big buff. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say boost. I was gonna say boost and I was gonna say buff and then I was like boof.
Boof.
Okay. Go.
Batrider. His Batrider didn't change much except his animation time. It went from 0.5 to 0.3, so it actually improved.
Oh my goodness, that's godlike. Time to get Butterfly on Batrider. Oh my goodness. Beastmaster. I don't feel like Beastmaster got any love this patch. His Call of the Wild Hawk duration got reduced from 80 seconds to now 60 seconds. The war duration is now from 70 to 90, all the way down to 60 seconds. Call of the Wild no longer destroys previous summons on cast, which is pretty interesting.
So that means you can have multiple, right?
I'm not sure exactly what the cooldown is for these two, but if it is shorter than the duration, then definitely you can have multiple beasts with you at the same time, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Bloodseeker. His thirst bonus speed and damage has been rescaled from... It actually got lowered. It went down.
For level 1.
It was 7, 14, 21 to 28, but now it's 5, 15, 25, and 35.
Pretty much a buff. It's a buff.
Yeah.
Except for at level 1, but you don't really use it at level 1.
Bloodbath now gives full hero kill benefit instead of only half if he is within the 325 AoE when the hero dies.
That's pretty good. Finally.
Yep. So he gets full HP.
Brewmaster.
So he got another buff.
Brewmaster. Okay guys, truth is I love Brewmaster, and Brewmaster definitely needed a buff because his pandas were way too weak. Pretty much at late game, anyone can kill the pandas. Even like mid game, sometimes if your opponent team is buffed, they can kill all 3 of your pandas. But now the cooldown has drastically reduced by 40 seconds on each level, and that is going to help so much more. That extra 40-second cooldown decrease is just going to make sure that pretty much Brewmaster can almost ulti in every single team fight now. And that's going to be so much use. So much use.
Yep.
Agnem's is just going to get better, and more Brewmaster is going to be played very soon.
Especially by Train.
Hehehe.
Onto Bristleback. His base damage has been reduced by 4.
I hate Bristle.
Oh wow.
It doesn't matter.
Dude, Bristle's so fun, dude.
Whatever. Okay, on to Broodmother. She can no longer leave the freaking map boundaries. Yes!
Ah, that was so retarded. Yes. It's so good, finally.
Finally they fixed that, and Broodmother will now probably get implemented into Captain's mode. Whether she will be played or not is up to the teams, but I doubt it, because there's no point anymore. Especially since now, free pathing is now removed when enemies have vision over you. So if you have like a supposedly
Jam or like Sentry,
and probably the best thing is probably Beastmaster. If Beastmaster's Hawk with that huge vision AoE and you just have a gem on you and you stand there, Broodmother's gonna be stuck in the trees. That's GG.
Yep.
And
finally you can use all your ults and you can finally kill Broodmother without having, like before she can just escape everything.
Yeah. Ugh.
Annoying.
And now
Centaur. His Stampede cooldown has been reduced from 120 90 60 to 90 75 60, so you can save people more.
Only
or run over people more.
In the first 2 levels, of course. Level 3 is pretty much the same. But yeah, okay. Going on to Clockwork now. Hits required to kill power cogs has been nerfed from 3 to 222/3. So the first, second, and third levels have gotten nerfed. And that's about it.
That means you can escape from it. So that's good.
Yeah.
So Crystal Maiden. Base intelligence reduced by 3.
Yeah, nothing too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess Crystal Maiden has been being played a lot in the meta currently. There's a lot of CM picks.
Yep.
So I guess they just wanted to nerf her probably her base damage and stuff. And so they just did that.
Yep.
And now onto Darkseer. Ion Shell has gotten a slight buff by having the cooldown of Ion Shell reduced by 1 second. So that means more Ion Shells, that means more lane pushing, and that means more Phantom Lancer raging. Because that's usually what happens. Darkseer versus Phantom Lancer.
Indeed.
Okay, onto
Dazzle. Weave duration increased from 20 to 24. So
Yay! Yay!
Buff. Yay!
Okay, onto Death Prophet. Crobolus has gotten an Exorcism cooldown increased from 100 to 115. Yes! No more freaking Exorcism. Her ulti is now nerfed. But her silence...
No more pushes.
Her silence AoE has increased from 350 to 425. But actually, truthfully, 15 seconds isn't too much. If you think about it, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like...
That's true.
You can just wait 15 seconds. It's doubtful that... it's very unlikely that anything is going to happen in 15 seconds. Even though two team fights can break out, it's just like you just have to be a little cautious, just a little bit more patient, and it'll be the same, Crobolus.
You have to be more careful around Death Prophet because the silence. Huge.
It's AoE. Pretty big now.
Yep. So Dragon Knight, his Dragon Tail, it his cooldown rescaled from just being 9 to 12, 11, 10, and then finally 9.
Pretty much a nerf.
So, yep.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to stun as much, but like I said, early game, you don't even need to stun too much. You're supposed to be farming hardcore. So yeah, there's that. But now here's Drow Ranger. She is actually pretty strange. Her silence entirely got reworked. So now it releases a wave that silences and actually pushes your enemies away with a non-interrupting knockback. So the AoE is now 250 instead of 300. And now the silence duration is actually the same, the cooldown is the same, the mana cost is the same, but now the closer they are to you, the more you push them back, and the farther they are, the less they get pushed back. So it's pretty much like, because you know how Drow Ranger has that aura that, like, if you're next to an enemy, your damage decreases, and if you're far away from an enemy, your damage increases.
That makes sense.
So now you can push people away. And this should actually be pretty interesting, because I'm pretty sure you can push people off cliffs and save yourself, or push people onto cliffs and save yourself, or like get an easy kill. So Drow Ranger is definitely going to be someone who is going to have a lot more usefulness now, utility.
Yep. Onto Earth Spirits. Oh my gosh. We got a big nerf.
Super nerf.
Big nerf. Okay, Stone Remnant. Recharge timer increased from 25 to 35. Apparently, they didn't. It was too short. Geomagnet Grip now does a 2, 3, 4, 5 second silence instead of a 1, 1.5, 2, and 2.5 second stun. Whew. And its damage also got rescaled from just being 125 to 100, 150, 200, and 250.
That's a buff.
That actually got an increase. Yeah, that's a buff. But it did get... It went from a stun to a silence, so that's reasonable. Boulder Smash, its damage got rescaled from 100, 150, 200, 250 to 125.
So it's just pretty much the opposite.
Yep. I mean, and it also does 0.75, 1.25, 1.75, 2.25 second stun instead of a 3.5 or 4.55 second silence. So like Train said, it switched from Geomagnet Grip, and Boulder Smash's radius has been decreased from 225 to 200. So you won't have a giant boulder thing coming at you from too big of a radius. Rolling Boulder now also gets interrupted if disabled during the initial 0.6 rolling charge instead of only while it's moving. Can you explain that, Train?
Basically, when you cast Rolling Boulder, you have this 0.6 initial like charging time where you become a boulder and you just stand still. And then after that 0.6 seconds, you actually start rolling toward your target. And so now you can get stunned at any interval. So you can get stunned while rolling, you can get stunned while charging, and so pretty much you can stop it. That's that.
That's good. Also another nerf. Geomagnet Grip now kills trees along the path of a drag allied hero. So that's just that.
Yeah, that's pretty much a nerf.
Targeting some...
Keep going.
Targeting someone directly with Boulder Smash will now be blocked by Lincoln Sphere. My gosh. Now you can... Mirana, or whoever gets Lincoln Sphere, will be able to block that. And they fixed being able to cast Geomagnet Grip on magic immune allies, which is very good. And fixed Boulder Smash being able to target magic immune units, and fixed Rolling Boulder travel distance going further than intended if you have a Stone Remnant near the end of a roll.
Oh my goodness.
So basically...
Oh my gosh. I wish I knew that back before it was fixed. That's so awesome.
Really?
Yeah, you could go farther.
You can keep going forever, basically.
Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway.
But Earth Spirit got a huge nerf.
Yep, that's a huge
nerf.
Earthshaker. Earthshaker basically got a 10 movement speed increase, and his strength gain went from 2.5 to 2.9. So he'll be gaining 0.4 extra strength per level, which makes that an extra 10 strength in 25 levels, and that's just a small buff, which is nice for Earthshaker. That's about it.
Yeah, people have been playing him as carries a lot.
So yeah, base damage increase is always good for carrying Earthshaker, but good for everything else too. Okay, onto Enchantress. Yay!
Not much, just base armor reduced by 1. I remember last update she got her base armor got reduced.
Oh really?
In the last update. Yeah.
Well, I guess she's being hated by freaking Valve or Ice Frog. But it's okay.
Yeah.
She kind of needs it because, like, have you seen, like, my bear when I was playing Lone Druid trying to hit Enchantress? Like, it couldn't freaking...
You couldn't kill her.
I couldn't even hit her. It was just stupid. It's because, like, I guess, freaking the Lone Druid bear counts as a creep or something and takes the full attack speed slow instead of just a normal hero attack speed reduction. So that's just too crazy. But anyway, on to Enigma. Yep. Black Hole AoE increased. Yeah. More 5-man black holes, and cast range also increased. So it's going to be easier to black hole, easier to catch people. A buff for Enigma. A small one, but nevertheless a buff.
Indeed. Faceless Void. His Chronosphere cooldown has been reduced from 120, 110, 100 to 120, 180.
Go Faceless!
So he's going to be more annoying. And you now have 1,000 movement speed in phase while you are in Chronosphere.
Okay, guys,
so
that is freaking amazing. That is amazing. You get to freaking move so fast. So fast.
That's broken, dude. Time Walk mana cost reduced from 120 to 90, so yeah.
Pretty much everything about Faceless Void got buffed. It's just crazy. Yep. And on to Huskar now. Burning Spear duration has increased by 1 second, so a little bit more Burning Spear damage. Inner Vitality heals, it used to heal below 40%, but now it's 15, 30, 45, and 60%. So if you're under 60% health at level 4, it'll definitely heal you for a lot. And that's just a huge bonus for Huskar. He's able to survive much more hits. And Inner Vitality cast range has also increased from 450 to 550, so you can cast it farther on your allies to try to save them.
Onto Invoker. His Forged Spirit's armor has been reduced from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because Forged Spirits are freaking buff.
Yes, they are.
Actually. And their attack range reduced from 300 to 900 to 300 to 690. Oh man.
No more deadly Invoker. Oh my gosh.
I know, seriously.
Okay.
EMP burn increased from 100 to 400 to 100 to 550. So that's a buff.
Yeah.
EMP delay went from 3.7 to 2 to 2.6.
Constant.
So, yep. Alacrity mana cost reduced from 75 to 45, so you can use it on your allies or whoever.
But truthfully, who uses Alacrity, so...
Yeah. And Ghost Walk movement speed from -30, -25, -0 to -30, -20, -10, 0, 10, 20, 30. So that got a buff.
So pretty much at the max level of Ghost Walk, you can definitely move faster and slow your enemies for further. So you move faster, they move slower. Voila. And on to Jakiro now. We have Ice Path damage rescaled. So it pretty much received a nerf. Basically, pretty much it's a nerf. And the Liquid Fire DPS increased slightly. Just only a little bit. Dual Breath, now burn and slow duration increased from 4 to 5 seconds, so that's a buff. The DPS, however, also increased, so whoa, the DPS actually increased a crap ton. Maximum level, it went from 20 to 76. And if this is 20 per second to 76 per second, holy fuck.
Holy crap.
Dual Breath damage interval improved from every 1 second to every 0.5 seconds. So not only did it go from 20 to 76, but now it's hitting twice as fast. Oh my gosh.
Dear.
And then the attack speed slow increased from -20 to -30, so you slow your opponent's
Holy
attack
crap.
speed even more. And the impact damage has actually been removed, but it's rescaled, so pretty much don't worry about that too much. That's it.
Oh my gosh, his dual breath got buffed.
Yeah, seriously.
Crazy. Oh. Juggernaut. His Blade Fury cooldown reduced from 30, 28, 26, 24 to 30, 27, 24, 21. So it's a little bit of a buff, but not too much. I mean, you can use it more frequently to avoid stuns and stuff.
You can use it
Blade Fury TP.
3 seconds faster, if that helps. Okay, Keeper of the Light.
Maybe.
Kotal. Kotal's mana leak stun duration goes from 2.2 to 3 at the maximum level. That's gonna help a bit. You don't really see too much mana leak from Keeper of the Light.
Yeah.
It's useful, but it's not useful.
All you hear is, dude, all you hear from Kotal is like, give me mana.
Yeah, that's super troll Russian stuff. But anyway.
Yep. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys should definitely check it out. We'll link you or something.
Going on.
Legion Commander. Moment of Courage not only procs 1 extra lifesteal attack. So before it would cause multiple extra lifesteal stacks per proc, so that's a nerf. Moment of Courage buff grace period increased from 0.5 to 1. Moments of Courage cooldown reduced from 1.2 to 0.9. So basically, he got a bit of a buff.
But the Moment of Courage actually got a slight nerf also, like while we're getting the buff, because it now only procs once instead of twice. And so that's that. On to Leshrac, we have less jumps on the Lightning Storm, but the Lightning Storm damage has also been nerfed, and the cooldowns, however, has been reduced. So the damage and the jumps went down, but the cooldown makes it so that you can cast it more often, and the mana cost actually went down also. So you can cast it more often, and it costs less mana, but it does less damage and less jumps. So it's kind of a trade-off.
Then again, it doesn't matter. All you use is the stun anyway.
The stun
and
Edict. Edict is OP.
Yup. On to Lina. Dragon Slave initial and final AoE increased from 275 to 150 to 275 and to 200. So bigger. Fire Soul duration increased from 7 to 9.
Carry Lina.
Movement speed increased from 4 or max level 7% to max level 8%. So you are
1% faster.
Things apart.
1% faster.
Still something. Dude, it's still something, man.
Okay. On to Lion. One of the spotlight heroes is 6.80. His Agnum Center now causes him to hit units within a 200 AoE of the primary target. So it's pretty much a splash finger. So not only do you hit one person, you hit multiple people. So like, expect a lot of RP plus Lion ulti equals GG.
Oh man.
GG.
Oh, ultra kill.
Yeah. Stuff
Seriously.
Like
that. Onto on Druid. Spirit Bear's Entangle is no longer an orb effect. Oh my gosh, that's scary.
Deso Bear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scary stuff right there.
And for Lycan, we actually have a huge buff. And I'm actually wondering if Lycan will actually come back into the meta because of this level 4 Lycan buff. Now the level 3 Lycan Wolves have invisibility, and the level 4 Lycan Wolves have a passive regen, which is 15 HP per second, which is pretty huge. And the fade time actually decreased from 3 to 1.7, so your wolves go invis much faster. And so that's going to be able to do much more damage to your opponents and phase them out. So it's going to be kind of weird how Lycan goes back into the meta, if he ever does go back into the meta, but it's going to be an interesting one to watch. So look out for Lycan.
Time to start getting more gems, guys. Magnus, his base intelligence increased by 2. Interesting.
Goodness, Magnus gets another buff.
I don't think he needed that buff. He's already buff enough. Dude, Magnus is so fun.
Maybe he wasn't able to cast enough shockwaves with the bottle.
Oh my.
Yeah, anyway. On to Medusa. Medusa actually got a huge buff here, with mana shields actually being able to absorb much more damage now, 2.25 to 2.5. And even though that doesn't seem like a lot more, if you think about all the mana that Medusa has, which probably goes into way past 1000, this extra 0.25 will actually help a lot. So that's that.
Yep. And Meepo, one of the craziest updates ever. His ulti level requirements reduced from 4, 11, 18 to 3, 10, and 17. Oh my gosh. Now you have multiple Meepos at earlier levels. And his ulti also passively reduces your revive timer by 10%, 20%, and 30%.
That's just crazy.
So, yep, Meepos are scary.
And we have Morphling now, who can actually cast an attack while in waveform, and that's gonna be really interesting. I want to see that. I actually really want to see this. I don't know how much it's gonna break the game. It possibly could break the game a lot. And now,
dude, that's crazy, because in his waveform he can't get hurt. He's invulnerable.
Which is pretty amazing. Like if you think about it, Mask of Madness while in waveform, and then if you blink, you can actually extend your waveform. So that's that.
Yep.
And it's just yeah, it's gonna be cool.
On news of Morphling, we have a Train actually made a video of a glitch he found of Morphling. If you click on his circle, he like his waveform shadow, I guess. It goes on forever. Like it goes on to like half of the map. You guys should check that out.
Yeah.
We'll link that too.
And going
Nature's
on,
Prophet.
Yeah.
His Wrath of Nature mana cost went from 150, 200, 250 to 175, 225, 275. And that's not too bad. It's just costs more mana, but he has tons of mana anyway, so.
Okay, Necrophos. His Death Pulse now hits units in Fog of War, so no more getting owned by someone walking up and not being able to Death Pulse them. So that's going to be a huge benefit. And it might actually hit people who you don't intend to hit, so that's going to be funny too. You just cast it and you hit someone. That's funny. Anyway.
It's like, what the?
Going on.
Night Stalker. His Crippling Fears Night Miss chance increased from 40 to 50%. So now he just got another buff. So if Night Stalker uses that, then just run. Don't even try to hit him.
Nyx Assassin. His cast range on Impale now matches the travel range. So pretty much, if you cast too far away, you will walk the distance and then cast it so that you will impale where you have clicked. No more clicking far away and then impaling where you are and then missing.
Yep, that's good. For noobs like me. On to Ochre Magi. His unrefined Fire Blast mana cost changed from 400 to 60% of your current mana. So you can always cast this spell, and so you can basically always cast this spell. So that means if you have like 100 mana remaining, the spell costs like 60 mana.
And if you have 10 mana, then it only costs 6 mana.
6.
And if
so
you
that's
have
pretty good.
2 mana, then it only costs 1 mana. So you can always cast it.
Yay!
Yay! Unless you have 0 mana. If you have 0 mana though,
then
I'm pretty sure you regen faster than 1 mana per second later.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can always cast it.
So you can always cast it.
But then it costs 60%, so if you have full mana, you don't want to cast it.
Yeah.
That's
so stuns for days.
Omni Knight, his degen aura stickiness increased, so you get slowed much longer if you run into degen aura. And that's just a slight buff for Omni Knight, because his Degen R, really truthfully, it doesn't really do anything. But now it should last longer and be more deadly. Okay.
And on to OD. I would call him the master of mid, apart from Puck. Puck is crazy. OD. His Astral Imprisonment cast range reduced from 550 to 500. That's gonna be less annoying.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. Now you can actually run and you don't have to like get imprisoned and he steals all your farm and you lose because it's your fault.
Phantom Assassin.
Next.
Invisible heroes now trigger blur, so you can actually tell if there's an invis person next to you. That's pretty cool. And the blur delay reduced from 1.5 to 0.75. So that's a lot faster. That's nice.
And Phoenix, our new hero. Wow. Guess they had to fix it. Fire Spirits. Okay, let's talk about this. Fire Spirits. Blah.
What the hell?
Fire Spirits. Fire Spirits, you spend health to summon spirits which can be launched at your foes to burn them over time. So that got changed. So where is it? Attacks. The Fire Spirit's attack speed slow reduced from 150 to 80, 100, 120, and 140. So that's a little nerf they have to put in. And you can now cast Fire Spirits during Icarus Dive. Icarus Dive is just you swoop forward in an arc and you slow and damage all enemies in your path. And Fire Spirit's DPS reduced from 20, 40, 60, 80 to 15, 35, 55, and 75. And Icarus Dive is now interrupted if you are stunned during it. So I guess they had to nerf. Oh gosh. Guess Phoenix was too OP.
But then again, if he does bad in the game, he'll get buffed again. So it really doesn't matter. As long as he's not in CM, they don't really care. They don't really care how he breaks AP. But yeah, that's that.
Yep.
Queen of Pain just got an ultimate upgrade for Agnum Scepter. It used to be that her Agnum Scepter pretty much sucked balls, but now all levels its cooldown is 40 seconds. So if you get this at level 6 somehow, then you're gonna start raping, because there's no way any team is gonna stop you. You have a freaking ulti every 40 seconds. That's just too good.
GG, man.
That's GG.
Ulti that does crazy damage. Oh man.
Go.
On to Ricky. His base HP regen increased from 0.75 to 1.5, so a little bit a buff. I guess he needed. I guess he died too fast.
Takes too much harass. Sand King.
Yeah.
Sandstorm radius rescaled from 275 all the way to 525 at max level, and now it has 525 at all levels. So pretty much the AoE is huge at all levels, and that's a nice buff for Sand King. Okay.
Shadow Demon. So his Shadow Poison max effective stacks increased from 4 to 5. Oh my gosh. He did not need this buff.
That's cool.
He was already crazy.
That's
gonna
good.
be even. Yep. I guess people will learn to use him more, hopefully.
Shadow Shaman Shackles increased in duration. At the final level, it went from 4.75 to 5 seconds. That's a full 5-second hold, which is huge. And the Mass Serpent Wards can no longer trap Roshan, which is good, because it was freaking annoying. Shadow Shaman was able to ulti Roshan, and Roshan couldn't even attack when he was inside. So that's that.
Silencer. His global silence cooldown reduced from 140 to 130. So a little bit of buff. So that's good. More silence everywhere.
That was a really creepy laugh.
Thank you.
I'm not kidding.
Thank you.
It's like murder, suicide. Where did Audie go?
Skywrath Mage.
God damn it! Why am I alone in a room with you?
Mystic Flare goes up 200
Watch out for
damage.
train, guys.
This is gonna be
you.
freaking amazing. Skywrath Mage increased in almost every. Well, for his ulti level 2 and level 3, it goes up by 100 and 200 respectively. So that's a huge buff for Skywrath. That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, but you still have to watch out for Pugna. That one KO you.
Whatever.
On to Slardar. Slardar. Blah. Bash damage increased from 40 to 70 to 40 to 100. So that's pretty big. That's really big.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Slark's pounce damage got reduced from 280 to 240 at max level, but the Shadow Dance cooldown went from 65 to 60, so that's a slight improvement in Shadow Dance. And that's about it.
On to Sniper. Oh man, he got more annoying. His take aim range bonus increased from max at 320 to max at 400, so now he can hit you from further away and you die without knowing what the heck hit you. It's like, oh, what the? I died. What hit me? Oh, Sniper from all the way, like, from base. What the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker.
Yay!
When you cast Nether Strike, you can actually see the person you're Nether Striking now. So if you cast it when you're below the cliff and someone's above a ramp, then you can actually see them for like a couple seconds. Used to be that once you casted that, your screen went black because you couldn't see anything, and then you suddenly appeared. And so that's nice.
Storm Spirit. His base movement speed reduced from 295 to 290. Apparently it was way too freaking fast.
No, that's bad. Okay. Anyway, Seven. His base armor increased by 3, which is huge. And his Warcry cooldown got reduced from 18 seconds to 14 seconds at max level. So basically you have a ton more.
Now you can push more.
You have a ton more armor. It's gonna help with like last hitting too, because they can't harass you as much. Which is good.
And again, one of our new heroes, Terrorblade. His Thunder, which is his ulti, it switches your HP based on percentage. Its cooldown reduced 160, 110, 60 to 120, 80, and 40. Apparently he wasn't buff enough.
Thunder.
Oh my gosh. That ult is OP enough. Anyway, Thunder is no longer partially blocked by magic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So that means
BKB doesn't
even
stop
though
it.
They have like BKB, nope. You're on low HP, you activate BKB, they use Thunder, you are dead.
That's funny.
Sums it up. Reflection, which is what Reflection does is it creates a double of your foe, which then attacks its original. It's kind of like Disruptors. I mean, not Disruptors. Shadow Demons Disrupting. It's basically that, except it's just one copy. Anyway, its cast range increased from 250 to 275.
Next. Okay. Next is Tidehunter. Kraken Shell got a debuff threshold increase so that instead of the debuff applying every 600 damage, now it's every 450 damage at max level. So you get to like get out of stuns easier. You get to get out of like Batrider's ulti easier. It pretty much helps a lot. And also the damage block increased from 36 to 40 at max level. So that's a little bit more tankiness for Tide.
On to Timbersaw. His base strength reduced from 25 to 22. Apparently they didn't nerf him enough in the last update.
Tinker.
Seriously though.
Tinker gets the Aghanim Scepter finally.
Man.
And so that pretty much doubles his laser cast range and also gives extra heat-seeking missiles when you cast heat-seeking. So pretty much you can spam heat-seeking and I think hit most of the opponent's team every time you use it, which is pretty awesome.
Yep, Tinker, you hold a stick and your lasers are going further than your heat-seeking missiles. Just watch out for Tinker if you have super low HP. Treant. His overgrowth AoE increased from 625 to 675. That's pretty good. And his Nature's Guide's cast range increased from 300 to 600. Holy crap.
That's pretty good. His invis
That's
now
huge.
works like from a farther distance, so that's useful.
Yep.
Okay, Troll Warlord. His fervor max stacks rescaled from 2, 3, 4, 5 to 4, which means at the max level it's slightly reduced, but the attack speed per stack rescaled from 20 to 16, 22, 28, and 34. So that's a pretty big bonus. That's very nice.
Alright. Onto Tusk, the Walrus Punch Master. His secondary units hit by the snowball now take the same impact as the primary unit. So that means that the damage increased from 168 at max to 200 at max, and the stun increased from 1 to 1.25. So that is the snowball. And it removed the 50% threshold mechanic from Walrus Punch. So that before I don't know how this works actually. Train?
Pretty much like you had two different crits. When you had more than 50% HP, it did a less crit, but when you had less than 50% HP, you did more crit. But now it's just a constant 3.5. That's it.
That's good. And yeah, he basically summed up Tusk. Next, Undying.
Undying actually got a pretty big buff because his Soul Rip cooldown went from 10 seconds to 6 seconds, which is almost like a 50% reduction. So there's more Soul Ripping, more team healing, and more enemy nuking with Undying.
Yep.
And that's Undying.
Vengeful. Vengeful's Wave of Terror armor reduction increased from 5 at max to 6 at max, so you a little bit better support now. I mean, not too much, but he was already good support. But yeah, that's all there is for Vengeful.
Venomancer got a lot of hate this patch. His base damage went down by 5, and his base HP regen went from 0.75 to 0.25. I think too many people in the TIs played Venomancer solo mid, so that he had to get his damage nerf, which is stupid.
Oh man, that's funny.
After Hawelko's Venomancer plays, he couldn't even touch Alchemist, but I guess he needs more damage reduction. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh no. So bad.
Okay.
On to Visage. Space movement speed reduced by 5. And
yes.
Grave Chill. Yeah, he was so fast. Visage was so fast. And his Grave Chill mana cost rescaled from 70, 80, 90, 100 to just 100. So he's not eating people. Just movements and attack speed. More. Dot. Okay, familiars are now properly magic immune. So before they were previously 96% magic resistant and immune to most stuns. So before they could be stunned by, I don't even know by what. So,
probably RP. RP stuns everything.
Probably. Yeah, seriously. Okay. Now they're magic immune entirely.
Warlock's upheaval max duration increased from 12 to 16, which is kind of useful, but mostly you never have a good chance to use upheaval most times. So yeah, that's that.
On to Wind Ranger. Focus Fire mana cost reduced from 200, 300, 400 to just 150. Wow. So you can push more, I guess. And Focus Fire no longer has cast animation, so you just immediately, basically, Wind Ranger can push better now.
On to Witch Doctor, we have a Maledict AoE increase from 150 to 165. Voodoo Restoration initial mana cost reduced from basically 100 at max level to 50, so it costs less mana to initiate.
That's so useful.
Yeah. So you can actually toggle it much better, because back then, once you toggled it, you lost so much mana, but now it costs less mana. And now paralyzing casks can bounce to units in Fog of War, which is pretty useful.
Oh man,
That's pretty useful.
So funny.
Okay.
Good stuff. Wraith King, previously known as Skeleton King, but changed due to copyright issues. His reincarnation slow increased from 50 to 75%. So he can escape faster or kill faster, I guess. And his slow duration, reincarnation slow duration increased from 4 to 5. So basically you have a better chance of escaping or better chance of killing everything.
Yeah. And Zeus got a slight buff in that his Arc Lightning can be casted from 700 to 850. So...
Nah.
Yeah.
That's not needed.
But yeah, Arc Lightning doesn't do too much damage, so yeah, I guess it's okay.
At least they didn't do that for lightning bolts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
And guys,
so
actually this is going to be it for now because we do not want to exceed like an 1 hour content update patch video. So we'll leave the items to you guys. And yeah, I guess this is it for now. Huh.
Wait, before we leave, we'll mention one important item that got crazy buff. Blink Dagger no longer has a mana cost.
Yeah, and that,
oh my god,
that's just freaking amazing. Special props to Blink Dagger. No longer will you blink and then realize you have no mana and then die. Hasn't that ever happened to you, Hawelko? Where you just blink and then you realize you have no more mana anymore?
It's like, blink ult, oh wait, no mana, oh crap.
And then screwed. And then you just die.
Yep.
So yeah, that's useful. I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.
That'll be it.
Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
See ya, guys.